Hi, this is George Alger. Welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be talking about ARTLIFE, a nonprofit here in Ventura, and our guest expert is the president of the organization, Bob Chianese. Welcome, Bob, and what is ARTLIFE?
Well, welcome, George. We're so happy that we discovered you and you discovered us. We're um, on the same page in many ways of what goes on with the arts. Um, well, Art Life is the foundation that grew out of Joe Cardella's 30 years of art in Ventura County and Santa Barbara County. Joe had a magazine called Art Life, started in the late 80s, and it was a postal art. People mailed individual pages to Ventura ultimately, and they had to make 150 copies to 200 copies of everything they made. And this was before copy machines. They were handmade in many ways. And they would arrive in Ventura, and a squad of artists, often me and others, would put this together and bind them. And there would be a 40 to 50 page issue. He did this for 25 years, 11 issues a year, 275 total issues.
Wow.
And they would be sent to both, of course, the contributors and to paid subscribers who, would buy the I was the only guy in Ventura ever bought a subscription. So that's one of the ways I got involved in this. But yeah, I mean, there were subscribers throughout the world. In fact, the most important thing to tell you is this magazine is fully collected at the Modern Museum of Art in New York,
Wow.
at the Guggenheim, and at the LA County Art Museum. So I always tell people, yeah, I'm an artist. I have a work of my art at the Guggenheim, at the Modern Museum of Art. It's not false, it's true.
Very impressive.
Yeah. So when Joe was involved in all this, he involved so many artists involved in the process. And that's why we have this kind of motto, if you like. I mean, we're trying to inspire current and future generations of artists to do art. Joe grew out of a movement in the 50s and 60s called Fluxus, Fluxus, which was based on the idea that everybody is an artist. And you don't think about being in a museum, or you just make this art and that's your process. And he did that for years on his own until he decided to collect these things in magazines. So we also believe that we need to be a source of exchanging art among artists locally and abroad. And we also, as a foundation, we maintain this ARTLIFE home studio, which was Joe's former personal residence. And this is a place for the ARTLIFE Limited Edition archive. Now, it's an amazing collection. We have thousands of magazines. Not every issue was sold or given away for each month of the 275 months. So there's quite a bit there to see. So, I mean, I could say personally, Joe asked me to become an artist I was a poet of some sort. And Joe said, well, look, I don't just want you to do poetry. The key for him was on something he called image text, which is a big deal now. Everybody's doing image text. But in those days, it wasn't such a big deal. So it wasn't just illustrations either. You made a poem or did the image, and that connection between the image and the text would often be in tension. It would be a subversive, or it would be a efflorescence of the idea. So it was something challenging. It was wonderful. And I think I was in personally maybe 100 issues of the 275. But the other thing they're telling you is that many local artists in Ventura were in many of them and kept on producing. But he had some very favorite people throughout the world, in Greece, in Spain, Barcelona, and they submitted to so many different issues that they're all there in the magazine.
Now, Bob, when did the nonprofit itself start?
It started after Joe passed away. Joe left the home studio to the foundation, and of course, all the magazines, which had to be arranged. And we were people that knew him very well. And we had other associations with Joe. And he said, okay, we're going to set this up. He knew it was going to happen. It wasn't a surprise. And, he left this legacy to us to make it available to just not Venturans, but lots of people throughout the world.
Okay, so there's a basic purpose here to involve as many people, regardless of their sort of, let's say, history or experience with art. And it's broader than Ventura. Speak a little bit more about that last part.
Well, I want to say that one of the things about Ventura that you may have noticed with your other videos is how many different people are doing art here. And it is a process where a lot of people don't start out with a professional commitment to art, but just start it, and then they become very, very good, adept at it. And this is true of Art City. This is true of the poetry. I'm in the poetry group here in Ventura. So there's a lot of this stuff going on. But because of this large tentacles that go out through the world with Joe's work in ARTLIFE magazine, those connections are real. As I said, we had a postal art show in 2019. By the way, the whole point of ARTLIFE magazine, it's based upon the post office. People had to mail these packages of anywhere from 150 to 200 individual works that they were doing to the post. Joe went to the post office every day. And but those people, we contacted them after Joe died and said, hey, let's do a postal art show. You have to say postal. People think mail art, things that female art. I didn't know. This is MAIL. And those people, we got 200 people contribute from throughout the world, Greece, Romania, Afghanistan, people like that. And we brought that to the Ventura home studio. And for 3 weekends, this is before COVID, thank goodness, people could walk through there and see all this incredible stuff from throughout the world. It's essentially photographed for posterity, but there it was in the flesh.
And just to underscore this, with postal art or mail art, really it's open to anyone. I mean, it's not like you really have to be a professional artist. It's
right.
Okay.
Absolutely. And what we have to realize, and it seems obvious, is that, believe it or not, COVID has made postal art. It was on the rise for many, many years. Now it's predominating a lot of art. Where else can you show? You got galleries that are maybe going to let people in. I think the Ventura County Art Museum is about to let people into their patio area, but inside is kind of rough. So this idea of putting things through the mail and then having them on display. One of our hopes is there are many storefronts downtown Main Street, Ventura. We should be able to get some, business owners to show these on big boards on the windows for however long people want to do it, right? We understand that downtown Main Street is going to be open for those restaurants until February 1st, unless the weather keeps cold like this. But that should be on the display. We have had exhibits from the foundation since Joe's passed away at the Ventura County Art Museum, at Art City, at the Carnegie Museum, at other museums, and this is an easier show to mount, if you be honest about it, with things that you can paste on a board. So we think that we're right in. We kind of feel like we're innovators, but we're right in the groove here because postal art, mail art is taking off like a rocket ship.
Very good. Well, Bob, we're out of time here, though, but I'm wondering if you could sneak in the website for viewers to find
right
information, and if you have a very, very quick summating message.
Yeah, well, there's two websites. For the ARTLIFE magazine archive with all that, it's www.art-life.com. Very simple. And there's hundreds and hundreds of magazines, the survey there. You can even open them. But for our foundation, it's artlifefoundation.wildapricot.org. And that's the site we're building. It's up and running. It's pretty good. We have lots of things going on. We have a founder society. We hope to start up very small little tours with 3 or 4 people that go through the studio. We can't accommodate crowds because of COVID, but there's plenty of things, and we're online, and you can connect with us, and we have postings there, and I think that'll connect you with us for at least for the next few months.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We're going to wrap things up here, Bob.
George, I can't thank you enough.
Okay. This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.